The first thing that drew people into the small town was the sound of laughter, markets buzzing with traders, and women plaiting each other's hair under mango trees. But behind all the noise and normal life, there was one place everyone whispered about. It was a salon at the corner of the street, painted in bright red and gold, with the name Heaven's Touch written boldly across its door. At first glance, the salon looked normal, even beautiful. The mirrors inside sparkled, the chairs were soft and shining, and the shelves were full of oils, creams, and hair extensions. But those who lived in the town knew that the salon carried a dark secret. They called it the Cursed Salon. The owner of the salon was a woman named Madame Grace. She was tall, with smooth, dark skin, always dressed in fine clothes, and her smile seemed to draw people in. Madame Grace was good with her hands. She could braid, weave, and style hair so beautifully that women left her salon looking like queens. But nobody knew that behind her beauty and charm was a hunger for power. Grace had once been poor, struggling to survive, until she met a man named Samson. Samson was not from the town. He had traveled from another city, claiming to know about secret powers and charms that could bring wealth and respect. Samson had a smooth tongue and a cunning mind. He whispered to Grace that if she wanted her salon to succeed, she would have to make a sacrifice. "What sacrifice?" Grace asked one night, her voice shaking. Samson leaned close, his eyes glowing with a strange fire. "Hair," he said. "The hair of the women who trust you. Do not throw it away like others do. Use it and you will see how wealth will follow you." At first, Grace thought it was a joke. How could hair bring riches? But Samson showed her. He took strands of hair from a customer, mixed them with strange powders, and burned them in a clay pot. That same week, Grace's salon began to fill with more customers than she had ever seen before. Women came from nearby towns, lining up to have their hair done. Money began to flow, and soon Grace became one of the richest women in town. But what Grace didn't know was that every time Samson burned the hair, he was also binding the soul of the woman who owned it. Slowly, those women began to change. Some became sick for no reason. Others lost their jobs, marriages, or even their lives. Whenever misfortune struck, Samson would smile quietly, and Grace would look away, pretending not to know the truth. Still, her greed grew. She told herself, "What does it matter? Women will always come, and as long as Samson guides me, I will never be poor again." But curses never stay hidden forever. One day, a young girl named Anita came to the salon. She was only 17, with dreams of becoming a nurse. She had saved for months to fix her hair for her graduation. When Grace touched her hair, something unusual happened. Grace felt a shiver run through her body, and for the first time, she hesitated. Anita's hair was thick and shining, and Samson's eyes gleamed when he saw it. "This one," he whispered. "Her hair carries light. If we use it, your power will grow beyond this town. You will be untouchable." Grace's hands shook, but her greed won. She cut Anita's hair, pretending to smile, and later that night Samson burned it in the clay pot. As the smoke rose, Anita screamed in her sleep at home. She fell ill the next day, her body weak, her eyes heavy, and her dreams shattered. Anita's mother, a strong woman known as Mama Rose, suspected the salon. She had heard the whispers, the stories of women who suffered after visiting Grace. She confronted her daughter. "Where did you braid this hair?" she asked.
"At Heaven's Touch," Anita whispered, her voice faint. Mama Rose's heart sank. She knew she had to act. That night, she gathered elders from the community and told them everything she had heard. Some were afraid, some doubted her, but others agreed that something strange was happening. They decided to watch the salon closely. Meanwhile, Samson and Grace continued their dark practices. Grace grew wealthier, But Samson's power over her deepened. He no longer guided her gently, he commanded her. "You belong to me now," he said one evening. His voice was cold. "Without me, you are nothing. Together, we will control this town." Grace began to fear him, but it was too late. She had gone too far. One night, while Samson prepared another ritual, Mama Rose and the elders burst into the salon. They carried torches, drums, and bottles of holy water. The town's chief priest came with them, chanting words of power. Samson roared in anger, his eyes turning red. "Fools!" he shouted, "you cannot break what is mine." But the elders pressed on. Mama Rose stepped forward, holding Anita's comb. "This girl's life will not be stolen," she cried. The priest sprinkled holy water, and smoke filled the salon. Grace screamed as her mirrors shattered, one after another, until the salon itself shook. Samson tried to fight, but his body twisted and turned, and at last he vanished into the earth with a terrible cry. Grace fell to the floor, her once beautiful face now tired and old. She wept, but the people did not pity her. The priest declared that her salon was cursed, and it was burned to the ground that very night. From then on, women were careful about where they left their hair. Mothers warned their daughters never to let anyone keep what grew from their heads. And though Grace tried to beg for forgiveness, the town turned its back on her. The cursed salon became a story, passed from one generation to another. Children were told never to let greed blind them, and women were reminded that even the smallest thing, like a strand of hair, could carry great power. As for Samson, some say he still roams in the shadows, looking for another greedy soul to deceive. And sometimes, late at night, people passing the corner where heaven's touch once stood claim they hear whispers and laughter carried by the wind. The cursed salon was gone, but its story lived forever.